upcoming restoration here. What is this, Colin? 64?
63.
63 Rover P5 3-liter. Very excited to have this here. I don't know about where you guys live, but in Canada, there can't be more than a dozen of these. Hey, pretty cool. Yeah, for my sister and her kids to drive around, and a fun counterpoint to all the French cars at my house. I said, do you want a French car? And she says, no, I want the most British car ever. I said, well, you probably should get a Rover P5 then. And then Colin found one. So, what have you got yourself into, buddy? Did I find this? No. You know who found this? Is Bruce. Okay. Bruce sent it to me, and I sent it to you guys. And then Colin went down with his truck. It was only 1,000 miles away. And so we're looking at a full restoration. The car is decent original car with one almost comically bad repaint. It's just whoever was trying to doctor this up. It'll have to be a bare metal strip down. But it's not particularly rotten. I mean, there's definitely rust, but by the standards of around here.
Things like the box.
What is that? The battery box?
The battery box.
Oh yeah, still original.
So it's still
very
original.
nice. Oh, the little cover still there.
Little cover here.
Oh, that's really cool. I didn't know that's where the battery was in these.
Yeah.
And trunk floor, very decent actually.
Yep.
Some surface rust, but almost really no holes there. The majority of the structural rust is in the typical area behind the, yeah, sure. Just the usual rockers and body mounts kind of stuff. But, you know, any car that goes up on the lift without breaking in half is a good car by our standards. And a very, these are incredibly robust cars underneath. A detachable subframe, massive subframe on them, and a torsion bar suspension in the well, I was going to say in the style of Chrysler, but I'm not sure who came first. Chrysler, wonder what the first Rovers that used the torsion bar. Anyway, very nice under here. The engine seems to run very well, and no signs of heavy collision damage or really serious rust out, or worst of all, amateur hour rust repair, which I don't see any of. So that's great. I'd rather see them like this than pop riveted up. So that's a real, you know, it's very typical of any unibody car at this age. It's going to need the same old jack points here in the style of a Citroen or Mercedes. Very similar technique. There's one at the back as well. Yeah, do these plugs come out and then you put the jack in there? Yeah.
The plugs come out, and I got the jack and all the jack kits there and everything. So
wheel arches and tubs look very good. For those unfamiliar with these cars, you can actually demount the rear quarter panels, which is good. They're just bolted on, so this can get replaced. Very fun and interesting car. Look at the hay. It's a nice paint job. It's a car with a very small marketplace in Canada, but also a car where there's only tiny numbers of them ever come up. So they made a
reasonable price though. They're not expensive.
Yeah, for the quality of the car that you get, they're quite attainable. You know, it's not a flash car. It's a very serious, solid citizen kind of car. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's getting the full new interior. Somebody's kind of butchered the wood. That'll all have to get redone. Oh, this is one of my favorite features of these cars. I had no idea. You can slide the armrests up and down. Okay. Gotta have comfortable elbows. So, yeah, quality materials, all leather, very dry. Hey, it's gonna need, Yeah, nice.
I don't think the front seats
are probably from a different car, yeah.
Or redone.
This had covers on it when you bought it, didn't it? I've never seen those before.
No, I think it was like...
Oh, okay. Yeah, everything is of the absolute highest quality on these cars. That's kind of what's fun about them. And all the original wheel covers are intact, eh? There can't be very many of those around here. Yeah, that's cool. And they're 15s. Here we go. This is a nice piece. Oh, and the Rover sailing ship. Or Viking sailing ship, I guess. One of the last cars probably that still had a crank.
Yeah, crank on it, yeah.
Does it come with a crank?
Yeah.
Jeez. Can you imagine if the Queen had to get out and give her a crank? She'd probably phone the AMA. Stupid thing. I've been meaning to put a battery in it. I've just been so busy. So busy opening shopping balls and christening aircraft carriers that I've been neglecting the battery on the old Rover. Oh, I just love it. I think it's the perfect car when you want a car that interesting a car as you can get without being flash, you know. We talked about a Bentley or something, but it's just a little too, you know, this is not a showy car. It's just a really nice quality car. So anyhow, thought you guys might get a kick out of that. Let's put it down and have a quick look at the engine and dash. There she goes, coming in for landing. There we go.
Some more light on that.
So is that a big SU, a single SU on there? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
the intake muffler to keep it quiet.
keep her quiet. And it looks like intake valves in the head and exhaust valve out the block.
Yeah.
So probably not going to see that on next year's Toyotas. But apparently these were extremely well made and would last a long time. And this car still runs very well for being 50 some, hey?
Yeah.
And lots of cute kind of Jules Verne kind of HVAC system here.
I love all the levers.
Oh, everything's just so mechanical engineering school, yeah.
And stuff.
Look at all that. Yeah, lots of slidey, valvey things. And what's this guy over here?
We believe this is cruise control.
I was going to say it looks like cruise control, but did these cars have that?
We haven't experienced it enough to confirm.
Well, if it is, that would be really something. And power steering, which is quite something back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
this is windshield washer.
Everything's just got its own little county that is made in, eh? Strood, Rochester, Kent. Does that say Kent? It does. Holborn, Eaton. That's awesome. And so what's that reservoir?
This is windshield washer.
Oh, windshield reservoir. Okay.
Yeah, because you're not supposed to drink it.
Oh, do not drink. Damn it.
Let's see if we can get the lighting out of here.
Methylated spirits. Use soft water. Denatured alcohol. Yeah, cool. Look at this, eh? I had trouble finding a number 4 Phillips. What's that? It's like a number 6,000 Phillips there. Oh, there's another one.
I have no idea.
Must be a special spanner for that. This is a cast.
It's cast aluminum.
It's a whole big cast piece.
Wow. Obviously to control.
Oh, and there's some clippies here, so you slide all that out, eh?
Yeah, although it's bolted underneath here, so it's not like it uncuts. It's not like
you
slides off.
Just slide it off real quick. There's your regulator and the fuse area there.
Yeah.
See, and that's got to be a horn relay or something there.
So we got some electrical issues with it. The lights don't seem to
go
work
on.
And stuff. So.
That never happens with these.
British cars.
Yeah, Yeah, you've got some certain amount of hours with British cars, eh? Hey, Morris and yeah. This is curious what these cost relative to other contemporary British cars.
So we've got a little dismantling going on.
Yeah, so we just started, well, I shouldn't say we, Colin is tearing it all apart. So his job is to strip all of the moldings and the interior and whatever else is going to interfere with welding it up. And then we're going to tackle the body and paint, and then the question will be, does the engine come out? That's up to you. I mean, if we're going to do the welding here on the I don't know. Yeah, the thing is, it doesn't have to come out, but it's more a question of how the presentation you want under the hood. Like, obviously, you got to get rid of all this shit, but it doesn't have to be a polished
That's
thing.
a good question. Do we really want to polish it up and make it look nice? And like, you don't have to rip it down, but just clean it up.
Well, that's I think that's maybe the ideal compromise, is take it out, but don't necessarily take it apart if it runs well.
Yeah.
Take it out, and then you could actually look at all, because this stuff's all going to need more work than the engine.
Yeah.
And that stuff would be a lot easier to service without the engine in the way.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like it's going to just fall out of there, though, honestly. Hey? It'll be... Well, I suppose a lot of this comes off. Maybe it just slides out the front. Yeah.
And we may end up looking at this radiator. I don't know for sure if it's going to hold fluid.
Well, if you take the... We have to start calling them wings now. It's British. Call them wings. But I think if you take all of this off and the rad, does that not take everything out of the way?
You are going to...
Because that's the rad support there, and it looks bolted in. So yeah, good.
So if we end up taking the radiator out just to check it and make sure it doesn't leak, then maybe you just keep going.
Yeah, just keep going. And I mean,
pull the rest out and put
there's
it on
only
the stand.
7 wires in the car, so I think maybe by the standards of the 1960s it was a complex car, but not today. Oops, today's cars are all wires with a little plastic thrown around them. Yeah, so the instrumentation is always a treat in these. Maybe it comes on either way.
But you gotta warm it up because it's tubes.
Sure, it's tubes, yeah. There it comes. It's making some crackling sounds anyway. That's cool. The clock still intact, and a lovely 20-pound glove box lid. That will all be getting serviced or refinished. Yeah, even in its diminished state, it still smells rich in here. So, the headliner, sort of intact. These really cool tinted visors. Yeah, that's excellent. And the steering wheel is really a treat. It's a big, huge, heavy looking thing. Brake there. I like the shelf underneath. That's really practical. I think they carried that over to the P6 as well. That shelf type design. Monogrammed pedals. Nice. And the delicate little walnut button for reverse. This is very much like the Mercedes. It's just this long, spindly gear shift. You had it through the gears?
We've had it through a few of the gears.
A few of the gears?
We haven't found them all yet.
Yeah. So that looks a little cloudy. Probably going to want to tear that apart and tidy it up.
Put a new piece of glass.
Yeah. Well, I think you'll be happy if you were to fix this too. There's a lot of damage done by somebody who was tarting this up for a wedding car or something. Yeah, it looks like somebody sent the kids out there with a couple of pieces of 120 grit and said, have the car ready for the wedding this afternoon. Like, here's some cans of paint. So, yeah, we talk about restoring nothing to lose cars here, and this is a great example. It's a car with a huge amount of potential that is just in its current state really unusable. Anyway, I just love it. I just think that it's just got so much presence and just such a unique thing that in today's traffic, this will it'll look like the Queen just showed up for groceries. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, we'll talk to everybody soon. Watch for this one in the next whatever. I don't know. We don't schedule this stuff very carefully.
No. No guarantee.
Some amount of time later. Well, doesn't really look too out of place there, I'm saying. I'm going to clean up the rest of the shit. We'll have a look. Sorta. Oh yeah. Alright, well let's try and start the old Fargo. Why not, eh? We're not having a lot of home. You never know.
Jesus, that
Hey,
choke.
this is like, huh?
Is that choke seized?
Oh, Jesus, this thing is stuck. Oh, yeah,
Oh.
everything's so
Well,
stuck.
just give her some WD or something. There's just so.
Oh, it's just
Huh?
rusted, yeah. It's just full of gummed up gas.
Yeah,
Everything is.
I have my doubts that anything's going to happen.
It might.
It's
There it
surprising, you know, because the starter on that John Deere, all it would go is, you
Oh, yeah,
know, and I took the son of the gun apart and sprayed the shaft where that little gear comes up to engage in the, you know, in the flywheel.
Yeah, its carburetor is just fucking. But whatever, as long as
Yeah.
nothing's stuck.
Well,
it
that's
won't
right.
work.
Is this working now?
Yeah, kind of.
Well, kind of, yeah. Yeah, sort of, yeah.
I don't know. Whole fucking thing.
That's okay. That's good enough. Eh? Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna
Gas.
turn the key. Squirt some gas in her.
Oh. Try and get some in the carburetor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Watch your. Watch. We don't know what's gonna happen here.
Yeah, it went backfire.
Yeah. Crankers is clear.
Yep.
Okay.
A little more gas. Huh?
That was tons of gas. It's just got no spark at all.
Well, yeah, I know, but your
Well, let's see.
everything's empty here.
Let's try put a little gas. Okay. So let's see what we go. Is this working? Okay, let's try it. Breaker's clear.
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna give her a rev if it goes. Woohoo! Well, that's something.
Yeah.
See if we, whoops, if we put a little more, maybe it'll run a little longer. Maybe we can get some into the actual bowl.
Oh, it's running out the bottom.
Oh, it's running all over the place.
Yeah.
Okay, so, well, where's that coming out of?
Right there.
Is that,
I don't know.
is there a drain that's been left open or what?
I don't know. There's a little right in there. That's where it was coming out. There's a screw missing out of that thing, isn't there?
I don't see one.
Huh?
Well, let's just burn the gas off that's in it then and see what's happening. All right, good enough.
I'm sure if you had an IV on it, eh?
Yeah, well, that's next for sure. Let's try it.
Oh,
Hey, Frankers, watch out. Hey, quit trying to chew your rope.
runs. Eh? It runs fine.
Cleared the cylinders out there.
Yeah, yeah, it runs fine.
Yeah, good.
Good.
Yeah, that's excellent news.
Huh? What a deal.
What a deal. So the question is, do we fix this truck up or do we put this engine into that Fury 1?
Well, you got to fix it no matter what you do with it. Eh?
What, this thing?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, yeah, like you got to get it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, Frank or Frank, that's not your fault. I know. See?
Well, I'm going to continue on.
Yeah, thanks for stopping in.
Okay.
Let's,
8 o'clock. I'm tired.
I'm happy to get that going.
Yeah.
Well, now maybe I'll fix the clutch and shit so it can actually move itself around. But Jerry can. The lights are off, you'll have to turn them on. Is it gonna focus? There we go. So, actually, I think we'll get away with it, eh?
I agree. That looks like a real treat.
That, well, it's much improved, I think we could say. That the orange that had been put on there was inappropriate.
Very nicely done.
There's a lot of putting together, eh? You're in on that, eh?
Oh yeah, all day.
This will be easy. Really, we have most of the parts.
It's hard to put it together. It's probably hard to put it together without scratching it.
Well, everything that would scratch is already on. I mean, we gotta get the valences and bumpers, but really, what scratches them is hanging the doors and stuff, right?
Looks good.
Yeah, I'm happy with it actually. I didn't think I would be. But, I mean, it laid down.
Oh, it did.
And
looks terrific.
And it's really quite clean. And no fish eyes, despite the gallons of goo that have been sprayed on the thing.
It looks
That was pretty
really
nerve-wracking.
terrific.
Putting the first coat on was nerve-wracking.
Be proud to drive this. Yeah, very nice.
Well, we can be happy with, for what was a very ill-fitting car. So we have to put the gaskets and put all the end caps on. Well, we're gonna let it just dry for a week and then polish.
Very nice.
It's, you know, it's for just out of the gun so far, not bad. And I don't know, you could almost just walk away from it. It's pretty good, right?
Maybe the hood and walk away.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get the little bit out of the tops of the hood.
And really, that is it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's heavy though, that's good, but you want to be heavy. But that's, look at how, like, you couldn't put any more than that.
Right.
And I'm not a push it guy. Like, I don't push my luck ever.
But look at this. Look at how exceptional that trunk lid is. It looks wonderful. It really, really does.
Yeah, I'm
And if it looks this good in here, you know, outside, it's just gonna be.
mhm.
Yeah, dude. Honestly.
It's a regular
Same
contributor.
old shit.